What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers, all alike and unalike? I want to welcome you guys to Listener Feedback episode number 3. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell. We are back. We are back for another episode. We're back on the scene like a bag of nicotine, brother. We are woke. We are here, man. Well, I should say I'm woke. And good gosh, listen, brothers and sisters, I know that this is listener feedback. This is a show for you guys to call in and write in. But I would be remiss if I did not talk about the crazy, unbelievable Xbox news that we got this week. And good gosh, we gotta talk about it, brothers. We got to. So if you, the listener out there listening right now, have some things that are on your chest that you want to get off, you want to get it off, man. You want to let your voice be heard. You can do that 2 different ways to be a part of the show. You can either call in at 443-216-9934, or you can email the show, and the email address is no other than the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Now I want to let you guys know that if you call in, don't be afraid. It's the right number. A woman is going to answer and say, hello, leave your name. Trust me, it is the right number. So don't worry. You're in good hands. Definitely want to hear back from you guys. Also, before we get into the listener feedback, I want to let you guys know that on the last episode that I recorded, I think it was episode 143, where I was completely wrong, where I thought that the Xbox and the PlayStation 5, the jury is still out on PlayStation 5, but I highly doubt that that does happen. But I thought that they were going to be $600. Boy, was I wrong. But what I want to let you guys know is, listen to that episode all the way up until the end. It's a bit of an Easter egg in there. Something that if you are a Nintendo fan, you'll want to listen to the end. I messed up. I know most people don't make it to the end of the show, but I just wanted to put that out there. Now, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead, though, and let's get into the feedback section. Now, we are going to get, or I should say, listener feedback. Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's start it off with Mr. One Subset Ticket. I heard from you in a couple weeks. It's good to hear from you, brother. Now, the name of his email is, are we done playing Madden? Oh, buddy, man. Can't wait to dive into this one. Splash. Here we go. He says, hello, Kiaun. I hope all is well with you. Hey, brother, I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in slow motion. He continues to say, in last week's episode, you stated that there was a little bit of an uproar in the Madden community. Oh, yeah, they pissed off, brother. Oh, they are mad as ever. He says, well, all I gotta say is it's about time. I've been playing video games a very long time, and I never really cared for Madden. However, I love football, and that's the game all my friends were playing, so I just grew to learn how to play the game over a period of time. No, he says, period of time, I became less impressed year after year with what was being offered. So I migrated to all the franchise like Game Day. Woo! Game Day! I know that was loud. I didn't mean to get loud right there, but you hit a button with me right there, One Subset. Game Day from back on the original PlayStation. Man, that joint was solid, man. We're talking, I think that's where, who was it, 9 games or someone, they got their start because they had a football game. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a tangent. Let me finish your good email here, brother. He says, man, that really hit me though. Game Day and the 2K series. Oh my gosh, 2K was so incredible. But he says 2K series, which gave me a better experience. But when 2K made that groundbreaking football game for $20 back in the day to turn Madden on its head as I was all in. Me too. Everybody, if you weren't down with 2K from the Dreamcast days, that year, what was that, 2004, 2003? One of those years, whatever year, they had released that game, 2K, for $20. I think their whole sports lineup that year was $20, and 2K was just far above anything that Madden was doing. Boomer was the narrator. Anyway, let me finish your email, brother. This is a good one. I'm liking this. He says, back in the day, to turn Madden on its head, I was all in. He says, when EA Games bought the NFL franchise to basically lock everybody out of making a better football game, I protested with my dollars. Not only not to buy Madden, but not to buy any EA games that were brand new. Don't get me wrong. EA makes a lot of very good games, so I would buy used games from GameStop. My whole experience with Def Jam, Def Jam was crazy. That new Def Jam, though, on the 360, that wasn't hitting, brother. They lost some magic with that. But he says, with Def Jam, the fighting wrestling games were used. NBA Street was used. Golly, NBA Street, that was my joint. All right, one subset. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish this email, brother. You just naming some dope joints is taking me down memory lane, but let me get through this, though, brother. He says, EA games that I bought were secondhand. Okay, the one exception I've made over the past 20-something years has been for Madden, with the 2 New England Patriots on the front cover, and oh man, okay, and Mass Effect 2 and 3. That's my protest. Maybe with the new 2K game coming up, things will change. That's all I have for now. And as one truck driver to another, you're not earning unless them wheels are turning. LOL. Man, one subset. Listen, brother, I know, man, I was all up in your email, just doggone going here and there. I almost feel like Suge Knight, all up in the videos, all that stuff. I just couldn't get straight through your doggone email. But you had some really good games in here, man. I was such a huge NBA Street fan. I'm such a big game day fan. I mean, golly, brother. But let me hone in on what you're talking about. Madden, I am so happy to hear the outrage as well, brother. I mean, it's been a long time since I've heard anybody, and just similar to yourself, one subset Tekken, I hadn't bought a Madden game. Now, I can't say I went as hard as you did. Shout out to you, brother, for getting all of the games secondhand. Nah, EA got a couple of my bucks along the way, brother. I just mainly... See, you went about it the right way, though. You shut everything off. Minus a few here and there. You say Mass Effect 2 and 3, they got you in New England, the cover or whatever, with the 2 athletes, I think you said. That might have got you, but for the most part, you were out there getting the game secondhand, getting them used, so EA wasn't getting a dime of your money. I just focused on not getting Madden because I figured if the Madden sales went down, then maybe, just maybe, it would be a chance that 2K or the NFL might say, look, this isn't selling the best. Why don't you, we can't continue to give you the license. But, as far as the outrage goes, and it's the kind of outrage I like to see. I mean, you got too much fake outrage out here, but this right here, yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. I love to see this because competition is necessary. And I have always, ever since 2K got locked out, like I said, forget it during Madden game. I hadn't bought a Madden game in like 20 years, man. 20 doggone years I hadn't bought it. Well, it might not have been 20 years. 2008. 18, 19, 20, so about 12 years. About 12 years in 2008, that was given to me. So I can't even really count that. But yeah, man, it's great to hear that the fans, they are upset. They want to see Madden or EA, as it were, do better at the game. They're boycotting it. They're saying drop the NFL license. NFL, drop your deal with Madden. And 2K this is the thing, man. Like I said, they got the likeness of all of the different players in the NFL on the 2K game side. So like I said, we know that they can't do a simulation, but maybe they'll do something in the form of a blitz or NFL Street kind of type of deal or something like that. But this is where things could take a turn. If more people just support the 2K game. And I understand it's not simulation. You're not going to have, the different stadiums that everybody, likes to, play in as far as, virtually, of course, having the different stadiums, but everything else will pretty much be the same. So I think that this is great. I don't think that the NFL is going to break ties with Madden. I don't know how that contract is set up. Like I talked about in that episode, One Subset Tech, and unless it's a clause in there that says that the quality has gone down so far and they have to take the IP away to, make sure that it stays intact, that it's not tainted or anything like that. I don't know how they could get out of that contract, but I'm definitely with you, One Subset Tech. I want to see it be competition in the football game space. I want to see, 2 or 3, however many companies are going to jump in. But since we know for sure 2K is getting back into the ring when it comes to the not NFL technically, but football games, then I want to see these two go at it. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Now that I'm thinking about it, with Madden, they have the backyard or something like that. I think that Madden, they know, EA knows that 2K is going to try something like that, so they're going to try to solidify that. I don't know how well the backyard came off, but we'll have to see, once 2K gets out there, which their game is supposed to release next year. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I want to see these two guys at each other's throats, and I want to see competition for sure. But One Subset Tech, and this is not the only email from you, brother, so I will be getting to your next email very, very shortly. But up next, we have Mr. Cody Clark. Oh, brother. Now, he's talking about the Xbox news, brothers. So, he says the name of his email, and it's so fitting. Shout out to you, Cody. It is S Marks the Spot. He says, pretty surprised to see that Xbox S leak and to have it configured by, I guess, confirmed? Configured by the Microsoft Twitter account thereafter. This does make it credible to believe that the listed $499 price point for the X series. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he wrote this before everything was confirmed with that. He says, Sony and Nintendo fans are now going to say $450 is the price to beat. And that the S isn't a big enough step, and that it will confuse grandma at Christmas, or that none of it matters because they have no games. Yeah, I'm in that camp, Cody. I'm definitely in the no games camp, brother. But he continues to say, or that they don't like Phil Spencer's haircut. Man, I can't stand that man's haircut. No, I'm joking. I'm completely joking. I don't care what Phil does in his personal life. I really don't. Just perform when it comes to Xbox. I have no other cares outside of that. But he says, or something. It's always something. I'm just going to enjoy the news, look forward to pre-orders, and a much, much faster loading replacement to my current Xbox One S. Cody, let me tell you, brother, this, man, the news we got. Now, I want to make sure that you didn't write anything else in here before I jump a little too far. You might have said something else. Let me see something. Oh, yeah. Your next email, you were just talking about that it was confirmed, the $299, $499 prices. Yeah, I'll just read that too. Let me read that real quick too. Cody's other email, the name of it is, and then there was also X. He says, so Polygon is reporting Xbox confirmed the $299/$499 prices for the S and X series respectively. Launch date of November 10th. Pre-orders start September 22nd, and Game Pass is getting EA Play as an added feature. Rather impressive, I have to admit. Still curious what they will do with Xbox Live Gold subs. So now that you got us all up to date, and thank you, Cody, for these two emails, brother. Truly, truly appreciate them. But that is the thing. This week, if anybody is trying to downplay what Microsoft has brought to the table this week, even though according to Phil Spencer, it wasn't supposed to happen until next week. This is when everything was supposed to come out some kind of way. 3 a.m. I'm going to tell y'all how I found out about this. I was laying in the bed, man, half sleep around, it was around like 12:30. I would say for me, I caught it around like 1 o'clock, 1:30, somewhere around there. I think I was just turning over. I heard my phone go off, the little bloom bloom kind of sound. And I'm like, man, what the world is this? And I just said, you know what? I'm going to just look at the phone, see what news is happening. And then I clicked on, I didn't even click on it. I scrolled down from the top of my screen, and I see Brad Sam's talking about the price of the Series S has leaked, and it is $299. I looked at this guy's video, Cody Clark. Brother, I looked at the video, and I said, I be God dog, man. Now, I will be the first one to say I got to eat some crow. Oh, man. I got to eat some of that bird, brother, because I was so against Xbox Series S. I didn't think it was necessary. I didn't think they should have been putting resources on it. I thought it was a waste of time. I will tell anybody that is exactly how I felt. Why is Microsoft doing this? What is propelling them to do such a thing? And then seeing it officially at $299, golly, I sat there. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had to be up in like 3 hours. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, good grief. I didn't think it would have this kind of impact on me. And then hearing that it's going to be able to do 120 frames, it's going to be 1440p. I guess that's 2K. I guess 1440p up to 120 frames per second. And I didn't see this, and I got a shout out. I believe it was either Mike J or it was Cody Clark that told me that they had actually had a demo that they showed of the Series S versus, I believe, the Xbox One S, and not the frames, but the load times were better. It just showed off very, very well. I think it was around like an 8-minute video. I still have not gotten a chance to see it myself, but I thought it was fantastic that they actually got out and they just embraced it. Xbox just said, look, it leaked. It is what it is. Let's just lean into it. And they embraced it, had the video up, showing what the console can do. I gotta say, wow, man, just Microsoft, they did the doggone thing this week, man. They did. They truly impressed me, and once again, I you know what, I owe you an apology, Phil Spencer, if you're listening, which I'm sure you're not, but if you are listening, I owe you a huge apology, because on that last episode I did when I talked about y'all being at Tokyo Game Show, I was hot under the collar, brothers. Man, I was steaming. I said, what the heck is going on over there? Man, I see what's going on. They making moves. At a $299 price point, we haven't seen anything like this since the original PlayStation. Shout out to them. They just made 25 years. Shout out to PlayStation. Congrats. And I wish you many more. But at this $300 price point, this is a heck of a price point, because that is usually the price point where the casuals go out and buy the console. And here you have a next generation console being priced at $299 at that very, very nice price point. And then even to just add to it a little bit, I wrote some notes down, Cody Clark. I wrote some notes down. You know what? Before I get into that, God, dog, I gotta be respectful because this is the listener feedback, man. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me slow down. But yeah, Cody, listen, man. Anybody, like I said, I got to get all the way back on track because I done went off in the sunset somewhere. But like you said, it's always something, right? You know, Xbox doesn't have any games. You know, talking about somebody don't like Phil Spencer's haircut and I don't like the breed of dog that he owns. You know, I mean, it's just anything. Anything can set people off. And I will be the first to admit, Cody, I have not been the kindest to Xbox. And it's truly because I am a fan. From the very beginning, I have told you guys I prefer the Xbox. It is my preferred platform, but I can't just sit idly by and just be like, oh yeah, this is great. The state that Xbox is in is fantastic. I don't see anything happening when the building is burning down all around us. This week, though, man, what a way to turn the tide. These guys have done a fantastic job. Listen, Cody, I'm going to get back to this, man. I'm going to get back to the Xbox Series S talk, man, because I got one more email here, and it is from, and also, Cody, I did see that video from, what's his name, Ben Beck, where he was talking about the $70 price point and talking about inflation and how people are all upset about it. I agree, man. $70, it is what it is. I can understand why. I just think that the only thing that I had it really wasn't anything against them. It was just like, why not just say what's real and what's honest, was with Activision and with Remedy, those guys just making these excuses talking about, well, hey, if you need to get the next gen version, you got to pay this for that. Why not just come out and just tell me, look, I need $69.99. Things are getting high around here. And NBA 2K, hey, $69.99. This ray tracing, these frames per second. I mean, I don't know. Y'all know the technology ain't cheap, especially when it's brand new. My whole thing was just be honest. Don't tell me that you need me to do this and that because the discs aren't compatible and all of this other stuff. It has to be digital. It's like, listen, man, just tell me that you want the $70. Stop making excuses. It is what it is. Games have been at $59.99 this whole generation. So, and last generation. So, yeah, it is time for a price increase. I get it. Just be upfront with me. That's all I was saying, Cody Clark. That's all, my good brother. But thank you for the email. Man, you got me charged up. I got to say a couple more things about the Series S because what a W for Microsoft this week. These guys really did something very, very awesome this week, and people cannot underplay it and act like it's not a big deal because it is. But I want to go ahead and read off Mr. One Subset Tekken. He's the final email for this week. And the name of his second email is Digital. And this is a good one. I can already tell. Digital versus physical. He says, hello, Kiaun. Hope all is well. Yes, it is, brother. We here. We surviving and driving, baby. Well, not driving at the moment, but you know what I'm saying, man. He says, I recently had an internet and telephone outage in my area. Someone hit a pole or something. Someone hit a pole or something or due to the weather. I really don't know. So I decided to play some games. Doing so, I realized not being connected to the internet, I was unable to access any digital games that was in my library. This is primarily on my Xbox One X. I didn't even think to see if I was able to access any digital games on my PlayStation 4. Luckily, I had physical copies of the games I wanted to play. I was trying to lean into the whole digital game thing very slowly. However, this incident has reinforced my position to stick with physical games in the upcoming generation. Have you or anyone else you know had a similar experience? What is your stance on this? Which way do you go on this topic? As always, from the little big town of Lucaba. And keep on gaming. Listen, man, look, what's up, Set? Appreciate this email. Appreciate all your emails this week. Truly, truly means a lot. Thank you for the support, my good brother. And I will say, this is a very, very good conversation to have. Here you have a prime example. And I'll tell you this. Matter of fact, you had asked me, did I know anybody or have I ever experienced anything like this? Yes, it was something going on, man. Y'all know Comcast janky out here. Y'all know they doggone spottier than a Dalmatian, man. Them jokers are crooks without guns, man. It was something going on with my internet that day, so I couldn't access it. It was down or something was wrong with the line or whatever. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to just go ahead and play some games because it's interesting, at least for me. I don't really think about the internet too much. I mean, it's already been ingrained in us. Hey, man, we sign on, the games are there, boom. But when that internet connection wasn't there and it couldn't go to the game, I was like, oh, shucks. Wait a second. Oh, this ain't cool. I kept on trying, and it hit me. I'm like, God, dog, I do need to be on the internet. I need the net. So, yeah, that day, well, it wasn't that whole day. I think it was a couple of hours. It was back up and running. But that definitely, I ain't gonna lie, though, I haven't thought about it until you just talked about it in this email. This is the reason why. And I'm not saying this particularly, the topic that you're talking about, one subset, but I have always wanted to have physical, no matter what. People can say eventually the disc, it won't be able to be read because it's going to be too old, anything like that. I don't care. I want to own the disc. I want to make sure that if I want to play the game, I have the physical disc, I will pop it into the console, and I will be off to the races. The other thing about digital that I don't like, and yes, I lean towards the physical side myself, one subset tech, and all day long. Yeah, I got, man, I don't know how many digital games. I'd be lying to you if I told you I don't have any digital games. I got a nice catalog of digital downloaded games. I'm talking maybe about 35 or 40, somewhere around there. But I have a ton of physical, though. So, I mean, yes, they've got me on the occasional sales that they have. Not the occasional sales. I mean, just the sales they have. Sometimes it's every other week or whenever things go up for like half price. I'm jumping on it, man, all day long. But I always want to have that option to have the disc. And just like you said, brother, here it is. Somebody hit the doggone pole because of the rain or because they wanted to be speed racer or something. And they might have just kind of swerved out of control. I don't know. But here it is. You're in your house. You're trying to get to access games that you have already paid for, and you can't even access them because you are not on the internet. I say, brother, yeah, I am with physical games all day. I want to feel the case. I want to see the disc. I want to see the case. I want to feel, I want to know that whenever I want to play the game, I can play it. Now, whether or not with the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, whether or not you'll be able to connect them to the internet years from now, I don't know, because I know some games they need an update and all of that stuff, and people will say that the disc is nothing but just an access code to get to the game, but you still need the internet and all of that stuff. I would much rather have the disc than to have to worry about them discontinuing the game on the doggone store, and then my digital copy is gone forever. That matter of fact, you just brought something back to my mind. When I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Double Dragon on the Xbox 360, through the Xbox Arcade, and they were gone. I mean, out the blue. Back then, they ain't even give you a warning. At least I will give them credit Now, at least they give you a heads up, such and such game is going to be discontinued in like a month or 3 months or whatever. So make sure you got it downloaded. I mean, whatever the case may be, But I will never forget that. I paid for those games. I didn't get a refund. Them jokers ain't tell me nothing. I went on and turned on my console thinking I'm going to enjoy some Double Dragon. Listening think I'm going to listen to the doggone theme music and whatnot. Save the girl. What was her name? Jessica? I can't even remember. I thought that was fricked up though, man. I thought it was messed up that they had you fight your own buddy at the end of the game to get the girl. God dang, that's cold-blooded, brother. But yeah, when that had happened, I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, dang, that sucks. Maybe something happened to the game. I don't know, because back then, you remember they used to have that, what was it? Games were... They were limited, with the storage or something like that. Matter of fact, they were just talking about that on Unlocked, I think this week. And I thought that maybe the game went over the amount that was allotted at the time. So I didn't think too much about it. But once again, yeah, I need physical, brother. I need physical, man, all day long. One sub said, Tekken, brother, I hope I answered that. I mean, I just went on a Kanye rant right there for a minute. My apologies, good brother. My apologies. But yeah, I'm physical all day long, brother. And with this upcoming generation, I will definitely be getting the physical PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One Series X physical disc edition. I will definitely be getting those. But one sub said, once again, brother, I truly, truly appreciate you sending me this email, and believe me, continue to write in, brother. It is always fantastically appreciated. And shout out to your city, Lucama. Shout out to them. I believe that's North Carolina, right, brother? I hope I said it right, Lucama, North Carolina. I was just down. Matter of fact, man, one sub said I was just down in Gouldsboro. I was down in Gouldsboro. I just got back from there, and I was up in Halifax, North Carolina, picking up too, man. So shout out to North Carolina. I always love going down there on my truck routes, man. It's always great, always a lot of space out there. I absolutely love it down there. So shout out to y'all, man. But what I want to do now, though, because I have, that was all of the emails I got this week. So I gotta just talk about this Series S, man. Listen to this, man. What do I have here? I think I wrote something down here. Yes, the thing about it, man, that really, it's like, golly, Microsoft, they really did something great here, because here it is. You have the top tier model at $500. I was so convinced it was going to be $600. I would have probably bet money on it. Boy, would I have lost. I would have lost everything I came with. Man, all $5, man. But I'm going to tell you, I love the fact that they have that high tier model at $500. It's not breaking the bank. It's not a price that we haven't seen before. It fell right in line with what everybody thought it was going to be, and that is fantastic. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have the $300 model where the casuals will get in there, they'll buy it. The hardcore, we're not going to worry about it too much. I know we're not. We're going to be going for the performance, for the 4K, for the frames, even though it does have the frames up to 120 frames per second. Now, I'm sure, to be fair, and to kind of keep this thing in the realm of reality, I'm sure it will depend on what type of game you're going to be playing. I think last generation or this current generation, it will probably be able to run most of those games at 60 frames per second. But once we officially cross over into next generation territory, or, the Series X and PS5 territory, I don't think it's going to be doing 60 frames per second at 1440p. Maybe it can drop down to 1080p and do 60 frames per second, maybe somewhere around there. But just the fact that they were able to price it at that price point, what a heck of a move, man. I truly didn't think I was going to be this excited for the Series S. I'm not buying it, but I just think that they have put Sony in such a crazy situation, dog, because you know that Sony cannot. I'm going to go out on a whim here. I'm going to go out on the edge of a branch, and I'm going to say it is no way that Sony can price their all-digital model, that PlayStation 5, at $299. I think the best they could do is $400. Even, I don't even know if they could do like $389.99 or $349.99. I think it's gonna be a $400 price point. And I was looking at what's his name? MBG. Gotta shout him out, man. I was looking at one of his videos today, and I'm not gonna remember it verbatim, but he was saying that people over at Sony, they had initially, now this is all hearsay, even he said it himself. You know, I'm saying take it with a mustard seed of truth, but in the documents that he was reading, he even said that the people, or whoever the people are, I don't know, but close to the situation, that seems to be the new word now. The people that are close to the situation, they are saying, said that Sony had the PlayStation 5 at a much higher price point. And now that they know what Microsoft is doing, they are now adjusting the price point to, he didn't say match. I'm not going to put words in the man's mouth, but he said to be competitive with the Series S and the Series X. So who knows? Now this is me speculation town, brothers. Come ride with me, brothers and sisters. Join me in speculation town, because I'm just going to ask this. Could it have been a possibility that Sony could have priced? I just don't want to believe it, because that's just $600 is way too aggressive. That's just like, pause for a minute, pump the brakes, stop the car. That's just not going to go off too well. But could it have been a possibility? Like he said, the documents, the wording, Sony's price point was much higher. And now they're adjusting. Much higher to me doesn't say $500, because most people thought it would have been $500. So where does this leave Sony? Can Sony, or will Sony match that price point? Will they go out there and say the all digital is $299? I don't think so. Or will they say that the physical is $499? I believe on that side they can match them. I believe so. And I don't think Sony can go higher, because they have the lesser of the two platforms when it comes to performance. You cannot do what Microsoft just did in this generation and come out with a weaker console for $100 more. I don't think not even the mighty Sony could pull that off. I don't think they can. But they have just pinned them in such, I'm not going to say a corner, but they have made it difficult for Sony to move. At the low end, they got you. At the high end, until we hear what Sony is saying, they got them. They're going to be deadlocked at $5, so they won't be outpriced. This is just so interesting, man. And then when you throw in the mix that Microsoft, they are doing something that has never been done before. If you don't have all of the money up front, if you want to get a Series S, but you're strapped for cash, hey, times are hard out here, man. COVID-19, they're affecting hundreds of thousands of jobs. Well, at least thousands upon thousands of jobs. The unemployment rate is high as it's ever been, since the Great Depression. So having cash, it is a real It's a problem for a lot of people out here. And if you don't have that $300, as little of money as that might sound to some people, $300, that means everything to somebody that's just trying to make it. And if you want to be a part of the, now I feel like I'm saying you want to be a part of the feedback section with that. But if you want to get into next generation right off the rip and you don't have the money, now I don't know if they're going to be running credit. I'm sure they will be, but I can't say that 100%. But you'll be able to get the Series S for $24.99 a month. And if you don't want to get that and you want to get that premium experience, you can get the X for $34.99 a month. And the thing that really takes this deal over the top for me is you will get Game Pass Ultimate included with that monthly price. And now EA Play is included in Game Pass. Well, with Game Pass, that is a fantastic value. Here you are paying $25 for a Series S, and you are walking away with well over 150 games on day one. Or, like I said, $35 and you're walking away with the same deal, just a better performing console. Over 150 games on day one. That is a heck of a deal. Microsoft, you guys did fantastic this week. The only thing, and this is not to be a Debbie Downer, I promise you guys. God, I'm just keeping everything in perspective. If Microsoft, if they can get their gaming problem under wraps and they can pull it back from the edge and they can get those exclusive deals and they can come out with those AAA games that people want to play, or they get the DLC that comes to their console first that people want to play, these guys are going to be a problem. They could be a real problem. Sony, are they going to outsell them? That's more than likely they will. Realistically, in other territories, they will more than likely outsell the Xbox brand. But on U.S. soil, which is where Xbox, they thrive the most here in the States, I think they could really have a close race with Sony. Am I saying that Microsoft is going to beat Sony? No. At this point in time, I have to say absolutely not. Because even though the console price points are fantastic, the tech that Microsoft has under the S and the X, definitely the X, even though it is amazing, your platform is only as good as your content. And if Microsoft doesn't bring the content, even though they have their consoles priced at both spectrums, I would say as good as you could expect for what you're getting, if they can't deliver on the game side, they are not going to beat Sony, because this generation, Sony has proven it time and time and time and time again that when you get their console, their exclusives are amazing experiences. I mean, not every game that Sony has been great. No. Absolutely not. But I have played way more games on the PlayStation 4 that I thought were phenomenal versus what I've gotten from Xbox this generation. But like I said, if Xbox, that's all they have to do. If they get the games on their platform and they're fantastic, watch out, man. Watch out. Don't be fooled. You guys got to remember, last generation coming into this generation, Xbox was the favorite. They were the favorite. And Sony turned everything around in this generation. I want to believe Microsoft is going to do it. I truly do. I've just been let down so many times with Microsoft that I'm very, very apprehensive as to if they can do it. But I want to hold out just that little bit of hope that Microsoft, they'll get it together. Like I said, if Nintendo can come back from the Wii U, if they can come back from that console generation for them to where they are now, anything is possible. Guys, I guess this is going to wrap it up this week for episode number 3 of Listener Feedback. Now, you out there, the listener, if you want to be a part of the show, and this was a lot of fun. I went a lot longer than I was expecting, though. But if you, the listener, want to be a part of the show, get your bars off, as Iron Lord's podcast says. Shout out to them. Get your bars off. You know what I mean? If you want to do that and you want to, let your voice be heard, you can do it 2 different ways. You can either call in at 443-216-9934, or you can email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Man, we're going to be back at it, man. This Sunday, got some things to talk about, brother. Oh, yeah, we are not done, man. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to be back at it Sunday. Probably have the podcast up by Monday. But I'm out of here, guys. Until next time, thanks again for tuning in. You guys are amazing. And with that being said, you guys take care.